So today we're going to look at solving exponential equations. So these first two should look fairly familiar. These are with our exponent rules. So instead of having variables as the base, now we have numbers as the base, but it's the same rule. So if we look at the first one, we have our bases of 3 and 3. So we can go ahead and deal with our exponents. Now when we're multiplying exponents, we're going to add the exponents. So we have 3 to the 2x minus 3 plus x minus 4. Combine those like terms, and you have 3x minus 7 as your power. On the second one, when we're dividing exponents, we subtract our powers. So the bottom is the bigger power, so really, or if you want, you can write it as 5 to the x plus 3 minus 6x, which is 5 to the negative 5x plus 3. Okay, and since that's a negative exponent, you could put it on the bottom. But I'm fine with you just leaving it. Now what about number 3? Number 3, the bases aren't the same. Could we get the bases to be the same? Can that 8 simplify? So we need the base of 2. 2 to what power is 8? 2 to the third. So if I made this guy a base of 2, I know that 2 to the third is the same as 8. And that's being raised to the x plus 1/2. So what we're going to do, power to a power, we multiply. So really we have 2 to the 3x plus 3/2 times 2 to the x plus 5/2. Now we're multiplying, so we're going to add our exponents. I'm going to come up here because I'm running out of room. So we have 3x plus 3/2 plus x plus 5/2, which would be 2 to the 4x plus 8/2, which is really 2 to the 4x plus 4. So make sure you simplify it all the way down. So what did we do? We made it so that we had the same base. Well, now when we're solving, guess what? We have this lovely one-to-one property. So anytime they're one-to-one, anytime that you have the same base, what you can do is set the exponents equal. So look at number 4. E is my base on the left, E is my base on the right. They're exactly the same. So what I can do is take my exponents and just set them equal. Now this one's a quadratic, right? So how do we solve, a quadratic? I'm going to subtract my 8x over. Put it in standard form. And then what? Well, we're going to have to solve. 2 times 3 is 6. Factors of 6 that add to 8, not going to happen. So I'm going to have to use the quadratic formula or completing the square. So we have the opposite of b plus or minus the square root, b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. That'd be 64 plus 24, which would be 88. The square root of 88 is 9.4. I'm running out of room, so I'm just going to leave it as that. You can simplify it down. I know you know how to do that. Okay, so let's practice some. So on number 5, they don't have the same base, so we can't do anything. So we're going to have to make them have the same base. Well, 3 really can't be simplified any further, and that's my base on the left. Can I make the 27 a base of 3? 3 times 3 is 9, times another 3 is 27, so 3 to the third equals 3 to the x plus 1. Now I have the same base. I have a 3 here and a 3 here. So I can take my exponents and set them equal to each other, and then solve. Now number 6 is a little bit different. Can I get 1 over 125 to be a base of 5? Think about exponents. 2 squared is 4. What's 2 to the negative 2? 1/4. So let's think about 5 to what power is 125? Well, 5 squared is 25, times another 5 is 125. So what would 5 to the negative 3 be? 1 over 125. So once we have that, now I have my same bases, so I can set my powers equal to each other and then solve. Now this is where yesterday is going to come into play. Look at number 6. Number 6 doesn't have a power. We're not comparing powers yet, but we know how to convert it. So to convert that, I really have 25 to the 1/3 power. 5 squared is 25, so I'm going to do 5 squared to the 1/3. Power to a power, we multiply. So we have 5 to the 2/3. Set our powers equal to each other, so we have 2/3 equals 2x minus 1. If I add 1 to each side, that would be 5/3. And then divide, which would really come out to be 10/3 equals x. See if you can get number 7 to have all the same bases. So go ahead and pause the video, use everything that you know about exponents, and simplify that one down. All right, so what is the smallest number that we can get? Well, 4 squared is bigger than 8, so 4 is not good. But I know that 2 squared is 4. Can I get everything else down to a base of 2? Yeah, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So I'd have 2 to the 3rd on top. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. So 2 to the 4th on the bottom. Power to a power, we multiply. So on top, we really have 2 to the 3x minus 6 over 2 to the 8x equals 2 to the 2x minus 12. I'm running out of room here. I'm going to subtract my exponents to get 2 to the negative 5x minus 6 equals 2 to the 2x minus 12. I'm going to have to come in the center to set them equal. So we have negative 5x minus 6 equals 2x minus 12. Solve that down. I'm actually going to add 5x to get 7x, and then add 12 to get 6. Divide, and there's your answer. Okay. Take a couple minutes and try number 8 and 9. So go ahead and pause. All right, let's check your work. So on number 8, I can't simplify 3 any further, so I'm going to have to get everything down to a base of 3. 9 goes down to a base of 3 with 3 squared. And 27 goes down to a base of 3 with 3 to the 3rd. Now this one has multiple steps. I'm going to have to simplify the left and then set equal. So when we multiply our bases, the bases stay, the powers add. So really we have 3 to the 2x plus 2. And now we can set everything equal. Whoops. And then solve. So x equals 1/2. Now look at number 9. Now this one's a little hey wonky, right? So first off, I have a fraction being taken to a power. So think about fractions. Those are our negative exponents. So I can simplify that. 2 squared is 4, so 2 to the negative 2 is going to give me 1/4. Then on the other side, I have a radical. Well, that's not good, so I'm going to convert it to 2 to the 1/3, and then bring that power down. Power to a power, we multiply, so we have 2 to the 8 plus 6x, watch your signs, equals 2, 1/3 times 3 is 1, so negative x squared. My bases are the same. I have 2 and 2, so I'm going to take my powers and set them equal to each other. I'm going to put my x squared on the other side. So I have x squared plus 6x plus 8 equals 0. This one does factor nicely to x plus 4 and x plus 2. So for this one, my answers are -4 and -2.